Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
Is Sombr problematic or is he just cringe?
I'm gonna explain to you why, if you're over the age of 16, you should not spend your money on a Sombr concert.
Wow.
Could you imagine a female artist doing this on stage?
First 2 minutes he's on
Why?
stage, it's a 6'7" joke.
Wait, what?
And all
Wait,
the
what? Wait.
They like to call me a male manipulator on the internet, but I just want to say, I'm a feminist.
We're now gonna have the Sombr dating show. Raise your hand and come on up on stage if you want to call your toxic ex. Make sure it's toxic and make sure there's somebody who's gonna pick up. Again, all the tweens.
You know who he looks like to me?
Yes, the guy from You.
No, I was thinking someone new now.
Who's the new guy?
The new guy, he's the older guy.
Oh.
The one who has the radio show on Cyrus
Series.
series.
The fucking Republican, right?
He with the curly
Yeah.
hair.
I know who you're talking about. The
He's
one
rich.
who had Rose on his
He's
show,
rich.
right?
He's rich. Yeah. He rich. He said he only works like maybe twice a week.
I don't remember the name, but I know who you're talking about.
Howard Stern.
There you go. Yes, Howard Stern. Yeah.
Sorry, they're all the same. Everyone can have one piece of the peel if they're good while they watch me eat the banana.
What?
Hello, my name is Kayla Says, and today I'm here to teach you about a new guy that they just made at the Guy Factory. I don't know what's going on over
Wow.
there. They just keep pumping out guys.
If you feel like the name Sombr has come out of nowhere recently, that's because he kind of has. He's an American pop singer, and he's one of those artists that recently achieved commercial success after 2 back-to-back viral hits on TikTok, Back to Friends and Undressed. Since then, it seems like he has popped up all over the place. He's the musical guest on SNL in a few weeks, Taylor Swift referenced him as one of her favorite artists, and his singles have been getting a lot of radio.
Ariana Grande
He's also getting
too.
some comparisons to other male artists in the same niche with large female fan bases, like Benson Boone or Role Model.
I'd like to approach
I don't know who's role
the
model.
visualization of the
Remember in UK and Canada, there was, I just said when we did UK reaction Friday, I said, oh,
The one that
this-
goes up the elevator.
No, I said, oh, this just came back recently. It's
I know you don't know, no.
it's like, yeah, I think so. Something like that.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a
okay.
Sally, something. He has a song,
spectrum of these types of men as a family tree where you can sort of see the influences the further you go. So there are 2 parents here, Harry Styles, and then on the other side you have Maddie Healy. Underneath that is this
I don't
sort
know
of
Maddie Healy.
timeline of guys, right? And they kind of exist on a spectrum as to whether or not they are more Harry Styles or more Maddie Healy. So on one side, you have Benson Boone, you have Role Model, you can even throw like a Conan Gray in that area, you know, like under Harry Styles. They all go under him. On the other side, you have the edgier, sort of like sad boy archetype. So that is Sombr. And then if you go a little bit farther, you know, all the way to the end, it's Youngblood. And remember, those guys are on the Maddie Healy side. So that's your visual. There will be a test on this later, so pay attention.
So I've talked about this before on the channel, but these guys get a lot of scrutiny in the pop music sphere, either because they frequently get accused of seeming similar to one another, or because they seem to be imitating someone else that came before them to a less successful degree. Regardless of that though, is this just a perpetual cycle of shitting on artists that teenage girls like, or is there more here? Well, the reason why we're asking that question today starts with a TikTok creator named Megan, who made a video about her experience at one of Sombr's concerts. I played some of her clips in the intro.
I think imitating artists that came before you, that's nothing new. I think everybody does that, and it's natural because, you know, at some point the artists that are being imitated, they either die or retire. So somebody new comes in, filling that gap.
Space, yeah.
I don't necessarily have a problem with that, as long as, you know, they pay homage and, you know, are respectful about it and not acting like they invented it. You know, I don't think that's problematic.
Of this video, but for more context, she discusses how she went to see Sombr with her boyfriend because she's a fan of his music, and after getting carded at the door and walking into a venue full of tweens, she knew she was in for a long night. She talks a bit about the opener of the show, and then talks more about Sombr taking the stage and
How
making
would you get
immature
carded at the
6'7"
door
jokes
and
to the delight of the audience.
with younger audience?
What is tweens?
Tweens is like,
Okay,
I think it's younger than teenager.
let me look it up.
I think it's like 12 to 13, 11s.
Teenager. What the fuck is teenager? A preteen or a young teenager? Oh. So how, yeah, that's a great question. How you get carded, but you are So what, they all have fake IDs? Huh?
Of said tweens. Then she discusses a bit that Sombr does at his shows where he calls girls up on stage and asks them to call their exes.
He then proceeded to watch 3 tweens go on stage and call their ex. And then Sombr's on the mic like, clock it, bro. Oh, chill out, bro. I've never had such second-hand embarrassment for someone and felt such a deep cringe. Like, you know, if you see like something cringe online, you can just like exit out or something, right? I'm so
Yeah.
wow, I paid money to see this. Like, I paid money to suffer through that.
So he's 20 years old. He's 20-year-old is still kind of like almost a teenager. So I mean, I get. I understand
I think
it.
it may be Burner Boy's birthday.
Oh, July 5th.
Maybe.
I don't know. But I understand it that, you know, he does like, this is like a teenage stuff. Oh, call your ex. It's like, oh, make him jealous. Like, this lady talking on TikTok seems like a little older. So yes, for like a 28, 29, 30-year-old going to a concert like that full of kids and, you know, doing teenage things, I can see how it's like, okay, what the fuck is this? But I think
You think she's 28, 29?
the one on TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think she is?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think she's in the late 20s. But yeah, so for someone of that age, it is cringe. But I think for younger people, that's what their age group does typically. So I think
she's younger.
okay, Michelle, I don't know her age. I was just saying, like, I think for
Because I'm thinking, like, who knows Sombr? I don't know.
so you say she's younger because she knows Sombr? Maybe, I don't know. I mean, he did get at VMA, so a lot of people saw him.
And then she also talked about what she perceived to be egotistical behavior from Sombr and also a strange dynamic that he appeared to have with some of his fans.
It just got worse. It just kept getting worse the more it went on. He would make like super niche references to like 13-year-olds, but then he would also say like super vulgar stuff about like getting his dick sucked, and it was like, so you know your audience is clearly 13, yet here you are. Okay. There was a moment in between songs where he literally just randomly went, bark for me, and you hear the arena of 13, 14, 15-year-old girls start barking, and then immediately followed up with, yeah, daddy. All of that, and he wasn't even a good performer. Genuinely, it sounded bad. Like, he said he had bronchitis. It seemed like that wasn't the only issue going on there. It just doesn't seem like he knows how to entertain. He's maybe too young. Maybe he has to grow into it. I don't know.
This video has gone pretty viral, receiving over 700,000 likes and prompting a wave of backlash to both Sombr and this creator. I personally don't think that Meg, the girl who made this video, has anything to apologize for. She was just one person talking about her experience and warning other people in her own age group as
I
to
haven't
why
heard this
they might
name
not
in a
have the
long
best
time,
time at
Meg.
one of these shows. I think more people are criticizing her
Oh,
for saying that
okay.
the opener was bad, as if that's an off-limits critique to make, but like, that's her opinion. I don't think that's uncalled for or unreasonable to share your thoughts on that while you're there and while you're talking about that experience. I've seen some shitty openers in my day, and maybe other people didn't think they were shitty. Like, I don't know, that's normal. I don't really understand why people are upset about that.
As for Sombr, the way I see it, the debate breaks down in a really specific way. Is he problematic, or is he just cringe? And today, I'm gonna be so for
I'm
real
just
with you.
cringe.
I don't know if we're gonna come up with a definitive answer, because I think the answer is, IDK man, it depends. But if we can't come to a solid conclusion here, we can at least explore this trend in popular culture, why it keeps happening, the more guys that seem to come out of the woodwork, and, what we can say about it.
One side of this debate, largely made up of Sombr's fans, seems to be arguing that this
To
isn't that
me,
big of a deal.
I
He's
didn't
playing
see
into
him as the type to want to call up girls to call their ex, because he seemed so shy. Like when we saw him in the award show, he looked like, shy, little, like warming up to the stage to me.
Yeah, the thing is,
How old is he again? He's
20.
20?
Yeah, like seeing him perform at the VMAs and like,
Yeah.
he didn't come off like what she's describing that his
Yeah.
concert would be like. Because
No, I
what
wouldn't
she's
get that at
describing
all.
him as, he's an asshole, right? He didn't give me that vibes when we saw him at the VMA, but with that's a
gave me-
controlled environment.
Yeah,
you
he
know?
gave me Bambi vibes, like very timid.
public persona and the dynamic he's created with these teenage girls, and then he's not much older than them anyway, he's only 20. And on top of that, he's never described himself as an artist for kids, and so he shouldn't feel the need to censor himself based on who attends his shows. We saw a similar argument back with Sabrina Carpenter when she first started touring a couple years ago. Others argue that this sort of hypersexualized bark for me stuff is creepy and predatory, knowing that a lot of girls at his shows are probably
Giving
like 13 or
David.
14. And while he, to our knowledge, is not acting creepy to his fans in any way behind the scenes, it's all just a stage performance as far as we know, it's still inappropriate behavior that perhaps a female artist would not be able to get away with.
I guess my issue here, and it's not specific to Sombr, and that's important. I think we're gonna have to get in sort of like the repetitive cycle of this in pop culture as it tends to evolve and teenage girls tend to get into new things and new artists. When I was going to shows when I was 13 and 14, this is what was going on there.
If I see you after the show, I'm gonna fuck you. And I don't care if you want it. I more care if you don't want it. Because then I really want it. Dude, I want you. Really want it, bro.
And again, I want to make clear
was
that this
that?
doesn't necessarily excuse or
Give me like Fallout Boy or Panic at the Disco or something.
Don't put that on them if it's not them.
No, I don't know, but that's what it gives me. I don't know.
wash away any of what's going on here, but a lot of these guys, from the Sombrs to the Brendan Uries of the world, are just imitating the behavior of iconic rock stars of years past, who, due to a largely different and more fucked up social contract, were absolutely doing some seedy shit with underage girls behind the scenes, allegedly. So I guess it's a question of how much of all of this is just imitation of what has come before it without understanding the context, and how much of it is genuine ego or a behavioral issue.
Bark for me. Right now.
Oh. He does not seem like that. I didn't have that energy for him when we were watching him with the award show.
Be a parent.
He changed
Well,
up
I
real
haven't been a
quick.
parent. I'm still daddy though, but I know it.
Boys, I learned something new today, guys.
Sorry, you keep playing iTag, you're gonna holler at your boy. Are we gonna keep playing iTag, or are you gonna holler at your boy? Guys, am I muted?
He's so skinny though.
When I see Sombr say certain things on stage, I see a kid
Like-
on the younger end of Gen
When he wears like the flare stuff, because he seems like to like the flare stuff. I guess it doesn't. It's kind of a little baggy on him.
Yeah.
It don't look like, but one of the outfits he had, like it was tied on him. Oh my god.
Gen Z, likely engrossed by internet culture, whose references and humor I will never understand. But at the same time, I also totally see influences of Matty Healy in the way that he presents some of these ironic stage bits, like it's totally reminiscent of the Subway Surfer bit he did in one of his more recent tours. I also think that some of these smaller artists, and even some of the big ones too, have perpetual content brain where they have to do some kind of, interactive segment at their shows, either for a viral moment or because maybe they're younger and less comfortable with the natural flow of stage banter in between songs. I'm thinking of Role Model's Sally bit as an example, which admittedly is much less cringe and charged than the somber "let's call your ex's power hour." I've seen the argument that this is also sort of a perpetual trickle-down problem from the lack of available media for kids and teens and art that is dedicated to just them and allows them to, explore musical preferences in a way that's safe and slightly more controlled. But I'd argue that that really hasn't been a thing for the last 10 to 15 years, because the internet has sort of overtaken pop culture in the sense that they are now one and the same. And once you understand that, and you understand what has come before this moment and led to this point, Sombr's whole shtick makes a lot more sense. When I was a kid, we had acts that were meant for younger fan bases, even though a lot of them came out of, fictional shows on the Disney Channel, but they were still popular enough to cross that gap. Their image could be controlled by Disney, and so parents felt more comfortable letting their kids be a fan of them. The power of these kinds of kid-centric entertainment institutions has faded to the point where the internet has replaced them entirely. Even when JoJo Siwa was still a more curated kids entertainer, she still was able to develop a parasocial relationship with her young fans through her vlogs and her social media pages. That's sort of just how all of this works now. It's true that these kids have nowhere online that is meant for just them, and so naturally they tend to gravitate to more adult things, just like their parents did. This has been going on for a while, to the point where if their parents had a Tumblr account, they also likely went through that same shift, discovering the art of artists who never intended it for them. Does this mean that I don't instinctively find it cringe when Sombr does this stuff? No, I definitely do, and if this is one of those wow, I never liked his vibe moments for you, then I'm not going to police how you feel about it. At the same time though, I'm not sure if there's really an effective solution here. Sombr is a 20-year-old man who is trying to work out his own identity as a modern-day male pop star. Does he have a responsibility to restrict his own behavior around his live audience if we presume he's well aware of who's present when he's telling them to bark for him? And let's be fully honest here, when has holding a pop star accountable for any perceived grievance ever actually worked?
I don't know, when you have your audience that
going
be tweens and you tell them to bark for you, I don't know, what is this?
But he does card them though, so that, to me, that kind of shows that okay, he's taking a good step towards that, ensuring that they're adults. No,
They say tweens still show up to the event.
okay, that I cannot explain how they end up there, but if the fact that he does card,
I think maybe the card part is if someone of age wanted to get like a drink, we know, okay, this person's of age, they can drink.
I don't know.
to give people a reason to hate him because he's popular and because teenage girls like him. But these days, it's not valid enough to be secure in your own contrarian identity, right? You have to have a problematic reason as to why you shouldn't support a particular artist, even though people are wildly inconsistent with this stuff all the time. And I'm not trying to say this to invalidate how people feel if they feel that Sombr's behavior at these shows is making them uncomfortable because of who he is obviously performing to.
Yeah, this is
I'm
the
just
outfit.
trying
It
to
looks really
determine
skinny.
what the line is between being cringe and being harmful. The truth is that the older you get, the more culture is going to just naturally and instinctively repulse you. There's going to be more that you don't understand. But a lot of times, it's helpful to reframe that context by looking at things that you did understand back when you were a teenage girl. What was okay to you back then that doesn't seem okay now? Are these new artists acting way more emboldened with their young, impressionable female fans, or has it just been that way for a really long time? And now you're starting
The thing
to take
is the
notice of
switch
it
up.
as you age, as you experience.
Maybe because I'm
do you
shocked
mean
with
switch
him,
up?
the switch up, because I did not perceive that
Oh.
from him in the
Yeah.
major award
I-
show.
I-
Everybody watching.
I didn't know that about him. I would have never guessed that about him
No.
either. Yeah, but this is giving me David vibes, to be honest.
Experience life under the patriarchy, maybe as you even become a mother and have daughters yourself. Why does it feel like you always have to be paying attention to this stuff and the male pop stars never have to?
Thank you so much, everyone. I have an exciting announcement. Kayla Says is now a podcast. What I mean by that is
Cool.
Interesting video. Yes, I mean, obviously I clicked on it because it sounded interesting, and it was interesting.
Can I see the comments?
Yeah. Yeah. It's very interesting. I don't know what to do with that information. I guess, you know.
Because I guess what she's saying, like, also is like, if you're like a parent and you see like from the big award shows how someone conduct themselves, you're gonna think, oh, okay, this is like, I would think, oh, he's safe, but
Yeah.
you can go to his concerts. But in the concerts, you see bark for me, and if I were to see a video of my kid barking, like,
What are you, a dog?
Dog? What are you
wanna go
doing?
in the
Where did I
doghouse?
send
Okay, I'll
you?
build you a doghouse.
Where did I
I'll
send
take
you?
outside. I did not know Timothy Finn Wolhart Chalamet also.
yeah.
To quote Kiki Palmer, I don't know who this
This
man
man
is.
is.
The guy factory needs to unionize.
Mm.
I think he is just chronically online 20-year-old who is not that good of a performer yet. I do agree that a female artist wouldn't be able to get away with this. Also, yes, many male performers have done this sort of things as their
Who taught him
concert
to ask them to bark? Who taught him that? Where did you get that from? Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And as always, share as much kindness as possible. Bye, guys.